Hello friends, welcome back. And if you're new here, I'm Meg and I post free hair education every single Monday. This is what I will be showing you today. My favorite way to do a volume installation using only one pack of tape-in extensions. So we will be using drop dead tape-ins. These are secret tapes where there is hair on the tab instead of the old school plastic tab. Using the color 10V, I am not coloring, toning, doing anything. This is my client, Gwen. She is actually also a hairstylist. She's my easiest client. I don't even have to wash her or color her. She just comes in clean with her fresh tabbed hair extensions and then I pop them in. So as I said before, this is going to be a volume installation. With tape-in extensions, you only get 10 sandwiches or 20 pieces. So I'm gonna do 3 in this little area here, kind of in the middle of her ears. And we're gonna have 1 piece in the middle. I lift up that little slice of hair to put it under, and then I sandwich the other one on top and then close them together really tightly until you hear all of those little air bubbles pop. And that is 1 there. So I'm going to put 3. It's a little higher than the middle of her ear. I would say it's almost to the top of it, but we are just gonna do that 1 row of 3 right here. And like I said, you take that little slice and then you put that piece of hair under it, the hair on top, and then 1 more on top of that. Now, some people will put the top piece on first. I do not recommend doing that because you have a really good chance of putting it too close to the scalp and pulling the hair, which will make the tape-in push out. So I really recommend doing that bottom one first so that you know that your section is lying completely flat when you lay it down. And then we have our first row of 3. So that will be our little nape section, even though it's a little higher than the nape, obviously. Now for this one, I like to go a few fingers above the ear, and we are just gonna clip that out of the way. And then I will just follow this exact same sectioning about 3 inches above the ear all the way around her head. So I'll do the same thing on the other side. And if they have a deeper side part on one side, you could always raise it up a little bit more, but that's more when you're doing a length installation that's more important so that you can get all of the layering. But this one, we are just adding volume. So I am just gonna do this nice little halo all the way around her head, a few fingers above the ear. And then now that we've clipped that up, we have our section ready to go. And if they have a lot of little baby hairs, you can also use those Velcro little strips. I have a bunch of them. I love them, but hers isn't too bad. So we are just gonna go. So I like to go a couple fingers away from the face so that you know they are not going to show. And we're doing the same thing, lifting that section up and then lying it flat over our tape-in. And then we just take our next piece and lie it directly on top of that one. And you can see it's perfectly off the scalp, so you don't have to worry about the hair pulling. Again, why I really recommend putting the bottom one in first, because then the hair extension can not only push out, but you can also risk pulling out your client's hair. And we do not want to damage any hair. So we are doing the same thing on the other side. I like to go side by side. We've got a few fingers away from the face. And we are gonna lie that down. And you can see how it lies perfectly flat since we did our bottom section first, and then just stick that right on top. And the most important part is that you're really closing tight until all those little air bubbles pop. There are clamps that you can use to close it if you feel like your finger strength is not enough. Some days I pull out the clamps and sometimes I don't. But I am now just going to put all of these sections right next to each other. And I like to go side to side, but you can see they are not exactly touching, but they are right next to each other. And now I'm gonna go to the other side and do the same exact thing. And I am just gonna make a beautiful row all through here, and it's going to have 7 pieces total. Now, some people may have, a larger head and require more, or a smaller head and require less. But I have found that for most women, I like 7 is the magic number. If you get the exact sectioning on their head, it just always seems to work out. As long as you really are careful with your spacing, you should be able to get 7 in. And just repeating that same thing with my sandwiches, closing them up, going side to side. And then we'll have one more here, and our final piece will be in the very middle. Close that one off, but you can see how simple tape-ins are, and then this will last her for 6 to 8 weeks, and then they are just as easy to remove. You just use a little solvent, usually like a rubbing alcohol base. Some extension lines are oil based. I like the alcohol base because the oil is just so messy. So drop dead, you use the alcohol base remover, and we are just closing off our little half circle here. And that is it. 1 pack of extensions. That's all we had to use. Take her natural hair down, and then of course I had to smooth it out a little bit because it was all bunched up from the clips. But here is what it looked like down before we even cut it. It's so beautiful. Like, we could have gotten away with not taking that length off, but 18 is the shortest, and she wanted to have just for volume, not for length. So we are going to be taking off quite a bit now. And I just like to have them stand, and then I put my cape backwards. And I love to do dry cutting on extensions, obviously. And I am just very carefully asking her, like, is this where you want it? And then creating my perimeter. And it's always, I feel like, easier to do a hairstylist hair because they know exactly how they want it. So there's no, I don't know. It's like, yep, right there's good. So I am just cleaning up the perimeter in the back first. And just doing a nice cut all the way across, very carefully. And then I can move up to the front. But look at how full and beautiful it already looks. I love it. And we only needed that 1 pack, those 10 sandwiches, 20 pieces, and it just is amazing what 1 pack can do for somebody who needs a little extra volume. But you can see I like to point cut a little bit in the back, and then I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, so then I like to pull them forward and have them look each direction while I kind of clean up that way and really get my perimeter nice and soft in the front. And then I'll have her turn the other way and do the same thing on that side, cleaning up the perimeter. And what's really nice about the volume is you don't have to worry about too much layering because we're just thickening up the hair here. So we just want it to look natural. We don't have to worry about a ton of blending. But I do like to use my feather razor on the nape pieces because that is where hair extensions usually get busted, when you see those chunks hanging out from their natural hair. So I just like to soften up those bottom ones just a little bit to blend in with the natural. And the feather razor is the best way I have found to do that. And it just blends perfectly. And then I'll just grab anything that I feel is a little too blocky or chunky and just clean up with my feather razor again. Just little pieces because we want it to be soft and natural. We don't want blocky, chunky ends. But absolutely gorgeous. And then once again, here is what we started with. So just not much volume, very frayed on the ends. And here is what we are finishing with. It is so full and gorgeous. You cannot even tell that she has extensions in. It blends perfectly with her natural hair. I just never get over how good it looks. Let's do a little side by side. I mean, look at that difference. From the first to the second, it's insane. And then from the front, of course, just gorgeous. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for another tutorial. I'll give you a little more footage of Gwen's beautiful hair. This was her wedding hair also, but I absolutely love it. And I will see you guys next Monday. Thanks so much. Bye.